Donald Bren is currently the wealthiest real estate baron in USA, a philanthropist who is given billions of dollars towards education and wildlife preservation, and the chairman of multi-billion-dollar Irvine Company, which owns about 129 million square feet of real estate. This is how he gained his billionaire status. Bren started his life in Los Angeles in 1932 as the son of a real estate investor. While he was growing up, he worked as a carpenter's assistant on his father's buildings. And when he was 25, he built his first house in Newport Beach. Within that same year, Bren started his own company to help build homes, and later on helped start the Mission Viejo company, which planned and developed the city of Mission Viejo. Over time, he helped develop other communities such as Westlake Village, New Hope Ranch, and Foster City. After doing so, he purchased the Irvine Company with a group of other investors. He eventually became the company's chairman of the board and the principal shareholder. And as of 1996, he owns the entire Irvine Company. Bren stands head and shoulders above other investors because of his strategy for property investment. A lot of people understand the concept of flipping homes, and although some do extremely well with it, they usually don't consider just how much of an effect they can have on a community. Donald Bren did. Instead of flipping homes one at a time, like most investors do, Bren would more or less flip entire neighborhoods simply by making sure all of the homes were designed well. But to really make homes appealing to tenants, he will also integrate parks, schools, employment centers, grocery stores, and things of that nature into the neighborhood. He wasn't just buying the cheapest house in expensive neighborhoods. He was buying neighborhoods and forming his own community around them. On top of his genius investment strategies, Bren also shares his wealth by investing in education and wildlife conservation. Over 50,000 acres of permanently preserved open space, in fact. After making improvements to so many properties, Bren now owns over 590 office buildings and 124 apartment complexes. And his entire real estate strategy can be summed up in one sentence from an interview he did in 2011. When you hold property over the long term, you're able to create better values and you have something tangible to show for it. In other words, Bren is saying that holding on a property for a long period of time and proving that your ownership is the reason its value went up gives indisputable proof that your skill set is valuable. So my advice to anyone who starts in real estate investing is always keep a long-term goal in mind. If you can hold on to these properties, they're bound to appreciate in value and they're going to make you wealthy. Yes, you can flip homes for thousands of dollars, but it's a job and you'll always have to hunt for the next deal. If you can show people that you are the source of value, it pulls them close. So what can an average investor take from this? Well, most people don't have access to that sheer amount of wealth that Donald Bren had, but they can apply the same investment concepts to the assets in their portfolio. When you're buying a property, you have to recognize that you aren't just flipping it and moving on. The people that you sell it to have their own lives, their own interests, and most importantly, their own network of people. You aren't just investing in a property, you're investing in the people who move there too. Sure, some investment you make will go unannounced, but it's better to have good things to go unnoticed instead of bad things being thrown into someone's face. This especially applies if you plan on renting out your property. A lot of landlords are catching flack because they aren't able to become a source of value for their tenants. And it's an easier or better alternative for tenants to simply buy their own house instead of renting it from a bad landlord. For example, there was a time when I was getting one of our properties ready for rental. I saw the neighboring tenant move out. I asked them why, since they have been there for many years, and they told me that they had to move out because their slumlord did not want to fix anything. What a shame. The best way to keep your tenants from leaving is not to do things that make them want to leave. And when you say it that way, it sounds like common sense. Whether Donald Bren made his billions off of hard work or was simply giving his wealth is out of the question. What matters is that he understood the impact that genuine value can have on someone's net worth. When you provide tons of value to other people, it will come back to you, whether you notice it or not. If you're someone who wants to learn how you can invest in properties and provide genuine value, then you can start by subscribing.